On July 5, 2021, Jeff Bezos shocked the whole world when he officially left Amazon, no longer CEO, and with a net worth of $183.8 billion. Bezos retired 7 years younger and 172,000 times richer than the average American retiree. Fast forward to today, and I must admit, I'm more than curious. What has Bezos spent billions on over the past year, and what crazy new things has he been doing since he hung up as Amazon glows? Let's find out about costly divorce. As strange as it sounds, Bezos' first major post-retirement spending came with his divorce from his wife Mackenzie. It happened really fast. The day after Bezos' official resignation, an official divorce statement was released, and Mackenzie Bezos, the woman he had been with for almost 25 years, parted ways with him permanently. The reasons for divorce were not given, but rumors were circulating on the street at the time that the Amazon billionaire had found another woman. This rumor was later confirmed when he has seen several times with Lauren Sanchez, a retired TV presenter turned helicopter pilot. But that's really none of my business. I'm more interested in divorce settlements. The sec Mackenzie paid out of the divorce. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon after the couple got married, and since they didn't sign a prenup, Mackenzie should legally get 50% of the company. This would give her a net worth of $56 billion, which would instantly make her the richest woman in the world at the time. However, this was not the case. The settlement they reached gave Mackenzie 25% of the shares that Jeff owned, which meant she received 4% of the company. That 4% stake was worth about 20 million Amazon shares, making Mackenzie $38 billion richer, making her the third richest woman in the world. This definitely made Bezos' pockets much lighter, dethroning him from his $200 billion status and possibly setting the stage for Elon Musk to be considered the richest man alive. Bezos the lover a super yacht and much smaller yacht. Everyone knows that super yachts are the water mates of billionaires. Most billionaires own or actively rent yachts for personal use. It's so common among the 1% that you'd think these billionaires imagine they are modern-day Jack Sparrows, and Jeff Bezos is no exception. In fact, his love for super yachts is so great that after retiring and losing a fraction of his fortune to his ex-wife, he still managed to get his hands in the deep. Amazon boss is currently spending all of George Clooney's fortune on a yacht. These are the things future billionaires do for love. Now, on a more serious note, I found it kind of strange that a 417-foot yacht would need another yacht for helicopter landings when vessels that weren't even half of its size could conveniently come with 2 helipads. So, I did some digging and found out that it has something to do with Bezos' hubris and everything to do with the elaborate, probably unnecessary design his super yacht was going to have upon completion. Anyone attempting to land a chopper on that yacht, you must deal with those 3 gigantic sails. And that, my friend, is a recipe for disaster. On the other hand, the same gigantic sails are also the reason why the ship has been delayed indefinitely. They are so tall. Bezos is still spending money every day as we speak. However, this hasn't stopped the man from dipping his hands into his deep pockets to once again spend George Clooney's net worth on a completely different post-retirement hobby. The only thing that Bezos loves more than yachts is land and properties. Most billionaires do, and when it comes to this niche, Bezos has taste. Unlike his Elon Musk counterpart, who doesn't mind sleeping in a $50,000 foldable house, Bezos has been acquiring expensive real estate since the late 90s. In 1998, when Amazon was still a young company, Bezos paid $10 million for the house 20.6 square feet, with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms on a 5.3-acre lot of Medina, Seattle. This estate was located in the same neighborhood as that and richest man in the world, Bill Gates. By 2005, Amazon's success was skyrocketing, so Bezos spent an additional $50 million on an adjacent 8.3 thousand square foot 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom mansion. The combined properties had a stunning 310 feet of shoreline. Since then, Bezos has continued shelling dozens of million properties and land across America. At the heat height of the pandemic, he bought a 3-bedroom condominium for $16 million on the 20th floor of 212 Fifth Avenue in a luxe Manhattan building. Prior to this purchase, he had already purchased the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th floors of the same building for a total of $80 million. In Washington, he paid $23 million for a former textile museum in Washington's exclusive Colorama neighborhood. Then, in January 2020, from this museum for $5 million just for privacy. However, in 2021, after his retirement, Bezos raised $23 million, a unit in a historic building, wherein has already spent $96 million on 4 separate homes. Then, in an unexpected boss move, Bezos took inspiration from Bruce Wayne, the way he acquired the most expensive property in Maui, Hawaii. The property cost $78 million, and instead of paying for the rather expensive property, Bezos bought out the holding company that owned the land. The property has never been publicly listed, so there is very little information on the internet about it. But what we do know is that it is staggering 14 acres. This includes many features, including a 4.5 thousand square foot main house and a 1.7 thousand square foot guest house built in traditional Hawaiian plantation style. Jeff Bezos versus Elon Musk. Watching two billionaires battle each other must be one of the most fun things to watch, especially when they decide to meet their incredible wealth. This now seems to be the case with Jeff Bezos and his eccentric counterpart Elon Musk. In fact, eccentric billionaire Elon Musk accused Bezos of copying back in 2017, the day after the latter spent $1.3 billion to acquire a self-driving electric vehicle company for no apparent reason at the time. Nobody knows Jeff Bezos for building electric cars. It's Elon Musk's rodeo. He's the undisputed EV billionaire as well as the SpaceX billionaire. That's why it's easy to sympathize with Musk when, just days after his retirement, Bezos spent $5.5 billion on his own aerospace company, Blue Origin, to spend 4 minutes in space. Did Bezos copy Musk? Not really. Blue Origin has been around since 2000, slightly longer than SpaceX, which was launched 2 years later. However, while Bezos was busy with everything else, Musk refined space travel in 2017. Bezos must have been under pressure to remain relevant in the space industry, as he announced that he would be selling $1 billion worth of Amazon stock each year to fund his space ambitions. We can verify that Bezos sold Amazon shares. In 2021 alone, he sold shares worth $2 billion. However, there is no way to confirm whether he invested them in Blue Origin. Wait a minute, consider this. Blue Origin was not profitable from the very beginning. It somehow still works today, so it's safe to say that Bezos may have invested those billions as promised. So maybe Bezos isn't really copying Musk. Maybe he's just doing his own thing. One of the most ridiculously expensive, yet ridiculously cheap luxury items you can find on the market is a mountain clock. Has to be a wristwatch. For a device that is primarily used to tell time, watches can be the most expensive articles on the market. Brands such as Rolex or Patek Philippe can cost up to millions of dollars and are often telltale signs of immense wealth. Well, that's not entirely true, as Jeff Bezos and many other top billionaires including Zuckerberg, Gates, and Elon Musk either wear much cheaper watches or not at all. For example, after his retirement, Bezos has only been seen wearing a $12,000 a listener than dual time. To you, that's a lot of money. Now, what Bezos failed to spend on watches, he recently made up for with an incredible $42 million mountain clock project, still under construction. Bezos first had a vision of a giant clock that would be built into the mountain in 2018. He has since persuaded his engineers and contractors to build a huge multi-room clock inside a mountain in West Texas. But what makes this clock special, and why does it cost $42 million? Well, on the one hand, it's a huge 500-foot tall clock, and most things that size. This clock, on the other hand, will be mechanical, powered by day, night, thermal cycles, and will synchronize its solar noon. The clock is also designed to tick only once a year and once every millennium. Essentially, Jeff Bezos is building a clock that can tell time 10,000 years into the future, defending the expensive, bizarre design explaining that the clock will serve as a reminder that the distant future not only exists, what will happen to their offspring. Currently, no one knows when the project will be completed or when a clock is ordered to be an essentially immortal watch. I bet it takes a long time, and since Bezos isn't going bankrupt anytime soon, the 42 million budget could double or triple if the project is delayed beyond its scheduled production timeline. One more thing, if you want to check the clock after it's finished, you might be out of luck because the billionaire is building on his own land in the backcountry Texas for reasons he knows best it.